Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you where these things are around the system. They're scattered all over the place, but they're all there. So you don't need a third-party template macro. Okay, it's just a learning curve on this. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start with the chief complaint. So when you open up the encounter, when you start a new encounter, your chief complaint goes here. This is where you're going to put your visit reason chief complaint. You can also do that on the calendar as well. If you create an appointment on the calendar, go here. In the comment section, you want to put the chief complaint here, or why the patient is coming into the office. That's your chief complaint. You know that. All right, so let's go to the next thing. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back to the encounter and say chief complaint goes here. So when I save this, you can see that chief complaint goes here. This is also going to go on some of the other forms in the system as well. Okay, so this is where this is being pulled from and it is stored. Let's go to the next one. Next item on your list is HPI. So if I go back to the patient's chart, which is here, and go here. All right, to get there, click on intake. And in the intake, this is where you're going to find the family history, relatives, lifestyle, these, and if I click on edit. Okay, so this is where I'm going to put that stuff that you have there as far as surgery, some of the things. So this is where that goes. All right, so you want to go to intake. Well, if you're in the dashboard, then click on intake, which is going to take you here. Click on edit, which is where you fill out all these things, you know, the HPI and other information. So family, relatives. Also, if you need to change these forms can be changed in the admin, forms, layout, here, and history. Okay, so this is where that form lives, and you can change any one of the fields. Don't delete fields. You want to make them inactive. If you don't want to use them, just make it unused. Otherwise, don't delete them because they can be connected to other things in the system, and it causes problems when a form system form is deleting fields. Just don't do it. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of this and go back to here lifestyles. All right, so these are where you can find the HPI. Okay, next on your list with current medications. If I go back to the patient's chart, medications are right here. So I can click on the pencil here and then add any medication that the patient may be on. Okay, that's where medications are going to go. And it's going to show in the patient's dashboard here under medications. And if I'm going to put in medical history, medical problems, click here. And then I can add any medical problems, the medical history of the patient. Again, it's across the dashboard of the patient's chart. Any allergies that the patient have, it's right here. You want to go into allergies, and it seems like you might have put stuff in there already. And I'm going to go add, and I can add whatever allergies need to go with the system. So again, no third-party modules are needed for this information. Now I see you have surgical history up here. So if I go to, let's go back to the patient's dashboard here, and if I, surgeries, they're over here on the right. So as you can see, surgeries over here. Immunizations are down here on my lower right. So that's where you would put those. So here, surgeries takes you to the same spot. If I go back to the dashboard, and immunizations, they're right down here. Let me get this thing out of the way and click on here, immunizations. So here's your immunization chart. Okay, so all the things that you asked for are there in the system. Immunizations is not a text box, it's a form that you fill out, and it has its own listing system, but it does show in the patient's chart. So let me go back to the dashboard. And let's see what's next. Social history, we already went over that. And then preventive care. Now, preventive care is a form. So I would go to encounter, look here, and do a care plan. Okay, so that would go here. And then review of systems. There are a couple of review of system forms in here. So you got review of systems here. Okay, which they're all marked NA to begin with, but of course you can change any one of these, or sorry, you can set them as needed for the review of systems. Okay, and I said there are two review of system forms in here. Here's review of system checks. Okay, so depending on which one you want to use, you can use either one of these forms to fill out review of system. Okay, we did preventative care, vitals. Vitals is from the dashboard. So if I go down here to, oh, sorry, it's not. Go to encounters, and then vital form is right here, and fill out the vitals form. All right, now labs are a different animal altogether because labs are going to have to be set up. But in order to do labs, if I click here, you would do order procedure. This is where you would create a lab order. If you have an internal lab, you would do this. But if you're going to connect with an external lab, you need to contact the lab company first, and then the lab company will pay for the lab integration if they deem you worthy of having a lab integration. Otherwise, they'll actually use their interface to communicate with them. All right, and we can go over posting results later. And let's see, physical examination. Again, it doesn't have to be a text box. I know that this is all over the place for you, but physical examination, oh darn. So I guess that would be the other review of system form. But there is a physical examination. If I go to here, forms, and I'm going to go down here to physical examination. I'm going to register this form. And now it's been registered. Where is it? Physical exam. I'm going to install the database. And I'm going to enable physical exam. Now when I go back here and I'm going to reload this, and now I have, oh, it's under miscellaneous. I need to go change that. So go back here. It comes up under miscellaneous by default. We're going to change this to clinical. Clinical. Okay, save that. Now go here, and I'm going to reload this once again, and then go to clinical, and now I have physical exam. And this is your physical exam note. All right, so everything that you've asked for is in the program. I'm going down the list that you have here. I'll send you this video link that we have in YouTube so that you can review it. If you got any questions, of course, send them to me. All right, so we covered everything in the basics. Thanks for watching.